much for the opportunity. In fact, in the first place, we have to be appreciative of the government that the journey that started as far back as 2017 has now come to see the light of day. In fact, we are so grateful for the government, the Honorable Minister, the Director General DES, the SHS Secretary. In fact, that was what the Minister said. And if you heard him rightly, he said that was an amount for the transition.
Right.
Amount for the transition of the students that are going to be placed in our schools.
Okay.
In fact, that is just a highlight of what the Minister had for us. But in the package are so many things that were not laid out over there. We finally left the table comfortable for now, but subject to improvement, as you said, because this is just a pilot program.
I see. We're hearing some 994 Ghana cedis. Where is that coming from?
Absolutely. You know, the 994 is an annual provisional fee that the government would advance for every private school that would be placed SHS student, meaning that each student that is sent to our school, government is going to give us an annual stipend of 994 Ghana cedis. That is what we signed for. And apart from that, there are many things that are also in there for us, the private schools, if we do well with the policy that has been advantage to us.
I see. So how different is this one, the 250? Is it 250 per term, and that makes up the total of the 900 annually?
Yeah, that is a recurring expenditure that is given to us by the transition.
Okay.
But if all things put together, just as I've said, what we signed for, we signed for 994 cities. So that 250 was just a mention of a transitional amount that is going to cushion us during this procreative stage of, this is a novelty. This is the first time we are doing that. So
right.
The 250 is an amount, a seed money that we're going to start with it.
Okay.
But at the end of the semester, 2 semesters, that is annually, we will be paid 994 cities.
Certainly. Dr. Does this bring some clarity to the issues at play, especially because, as he indicated, yes, this is the first time they appreciate this intervention, but then again, they're expecting some progression. Does this bring some clarity?
Yeah, sure. I think that we need to commend the Ministry of Education for this fulfilling this promise. I think it's something that the NDC put out that they would do. And for me, when a political party makes a promise and they are fulfilling it, we need to commend them. That is what politics is about. I also believe that this is good news for the private schools, and that is why my brother on the other line is acknowledging the impact of this on their system, because most of these private schools were virtually collapsing. Some had collapsed. And with the injection of 25,000 students into these schools, we are going to see some vibrancy in there. My only challenge is that he keeps saying there are a lot of things in there for them. I don't have a problem with that. My problem will be, how are parents going to be educated as to what they need to do as their awards are coming to these schools? Because as you are aware, aside the prospectus that these schools give to the parents, there are other things that they might have to take care of. And I think that for transparency's sake, the Private Schools Association, the secondary senior high schools, should let us know the uniformity of the commitment of parents as they are being as the awards are being sent to these schools. Because for those going to the public schools, we know that you get your prospectus and that is all that there is. You don't have to pay any other thing. Now, government is taking I mean, the government is giving them this amount of money, but what are the commitments that parents are supposed to do? I mean, are parents supposed to pay anything extra aside the prospectus so that we know how we go about with this discussion? So whatever it is in for them, we don't want to know, but what will be the commitment of parents as the awards are being, as they prepare to bring the awards to the school, and how uniform are these commitments? We need to get that clarity so that no other school would try to, exploit any parent in this manner. And it's also good for them because when they succeed as a pilot project, other schools will be brought in. So at this stage, we need to understand all the modalities so that we help shape and propagate this particular aspect of the free senior high school that the ministry is implementing. And then in the next year, we will see more students selecting these schools and being placed in those schools. So my problem will be, we need clarity on the commitment parents are supposed to make aside the prospectus, so that and how uniform are these commitments as we go into school reopening come October 18th.
Perfect point. Dr. Anti, appreciate you for this. And the next phase of this conversation in the coming days will be the cost and where the funding is coming from and how sustainable the source of funding will be for this new intervention that government is providing for the private schools as well. Because if the 994 CDs Mr. Ike Mensah is talking about per annum for the 25,000 students is anything to go by, we're talking about almost 25 million CDs every year for the private schools under the Free Senior High School project. That's the next phase of the conversation. Dr. Anti, thank you. Dr. Peter Anti is the Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies. Ike Mensah is the President of the Conference of Heads of Private Second Cycle Schools. Thank you, gentlemen. And I want to say thank you for staying with us here on Ghana Tonight.